In order to find food, a fierce large hornet as a scout soldier. Alone, it charged into the beehive as the natural enemy of bees, relying on its larger body size. Now facing tens of thousands of bees, does not regard them as a threat at all, if allowed to return and bring more reinforcements. In the face of such a threatening situation, what course of action will the bee colony take? Will they be able to protect their home? For thousands of years, arrogant humans have dominated the earth and compared to the insect world beneath our feet. Long before humans, they have existed for millions of years, continuously surviving and adapting to ever-changing living environments. Not only must they strive with all their might to survive with great difficulty, an unending war. Now, the story of their desperate resistance. Concerning the survival or extinction of a species, how will they fight back? These are the notorious Japanese hornets, which are also the largest hornets on Earth. Some remote and dark corners are their nests, where the nest is located. And now, this hornet family is now at its peak. Not only do they have abundant energy, along with an astonishing number of worker bees, they formed this powerful bandit kingdom. As the family members continue to grow, the amount of food required also increases accordingly. The hive is now filled with larvae that are growing. Continuous rustling sounds can be heard. Hungry larvae with sharp mouths, walls lined with fresh food. Piercing sounds constantly echo through the hive, driving them to venture out in search of food. And this is the primary duty of the bee colony. The growing larvae require increasingly larger amounts of food. As carnivorous insects, hunger also signifies killing. A general, David, is ready. With a flap of its wings, it flew away from the nest. As a scout, he must make the most of every moment to find fresh meat for his family. These hornets, measuring only 8 centimeters in length, its sharp claws can tightly grip its prey, can easily tear apart its prey, along with extremely sharp senses. After relentless searching, finally, David discovered a group of plump and appetizing targets. This is a hive inhabited by European honeybees. First, it marks the area with pheromones. At this moment, the hornet family receiving the information. It didn't take long before they arrived at the outskirts of the beehive. Because it has almost no destructive power, it still crawled all over the beehive, but facing creatures that are 5 times their size, and the hornets, which are exceptionally brutal in their methods. Everything unfolded without any suspense. Faced with these ruthless invaders, there were continuous attempts by bees trying to stop and resist. This is undoubtedly a one-sided massacre. Even so, to protect their home, the brave and fearless bee colony continues to advance. Yet, their bravery at this moment has lost all meaning. Perhaps they could surround a hornet, but given the current battlefield situation, it would have no impact whatsoever. This move would only make the invaders more brutal, faster in the relentless killing. The bloodthirsty hornets have become completely At the entrance of the beehive, bees are killed one after another. Not a single one retreats. Amid the ceaseless slaughter, the bodies of bees on the ground have piled up like a mountain. The tragic scenes everywhere make it unbearable to look directly. With just 20 small squads of hornets, have nearly wiped out over 30,000 bees entirely. Yet so real, there are a few hornets that have already begun entering the inside of the beehive. The others remain outside clearing the area. The last scattered resistors. Everything happened too quickly. What a warm home. Just like that, it was completely destroyed. Yet, they are powerless. The last warriors still not giving up the fight against fate, even though they already know the consequences. For survival, to raise their offspring, there is no right or wrong here. Either perish. The beehive has now been completely destroyed. Inside, it is littered with scattered bodies. The goal of these thieves is not the bees at all, but the honey and the larvae inside the beehive. The invaders began to act without restraint, collecting their spoils of war. And this process will continue for several days. The thieves greedily began to suck the honey, not even sparing what was stuck to the bodies of the dead. Unhatched bee pupae and larvae are chewed into food for hornet larvae. Thus, the scout hornet is roaming around in search of their prey. At this moment, it has arrived near the Japanese beehive. Next, releasing pheromones, then return to report back. This is also their usual tactic. Total destruction awaits this bee colony. To lure the scout hornet into the hive, the bees in the colony will pretend to be weak and retreat into the hive. Outside, there are no more guard bees. The bee colony, sensing the danger, begins resonating like the king of the mountain, perhaps the strength of a single bee. But the entire bee colony, under the influence of chemical magic, has transformed into a massive whole, so soul-stirring, making any foe that approaches dare not underestimate. As the main enemy of the bees, as soon as the two sides met, the atmosphere became extremely tense. At this moment, they are isolated and vulnerable. This place is not suitable for staying long, and occasionally using its tail to release pheromones. And this act undoubtedly further stimulates the nerves of the bee colony. Once the pheromone attracts other hornets to come, what does it mean for them? The highly strained nerves could snap at any moment. The bee colony is ready to attack at any moment. As the scout hornet arrives, once again, there is an urge to release pheromones. The attack has finally begun. The bee colony rushed forward, charging at the scout hornet. Swiftly, they surrounded the invader with their bodies. Faced with the tough-bodied hornet, the tiny stinger of the bee, it has no effect whatsoever, and the abdomen that constantly moves and extends. Although a bee continuously moves its abdomen, the power of thousands of bees moving together, the temperature inside is gradually rising. At this moment, the temperature has reached 48 degrees. However, the hornet's tolerance limit is only 47 degrees, which could take its life. Not for long. Unable to withstand, the scout hornet, overwhelmed by the heat, succumbs here, killing a vicious hornet with heat. It is truly unbelievable, although the bee colony also suffered casualties.